Oh man, I'm having such a hard time getting this video going today. Okay, hi, happy Monday. Happy 7/7 portal, which is all about spiritual awakening. Let's talk about your energy update for Monday 7/7. Hi, my name is Paula Taylor. I'm a sound and energy activator, intuitive reader and channeler, body worker, and fearless alchemist, and I coach people on the path to spiritual awakening. So there's a lot to put into this message. Bear with me. I might kind of jump around a little bit. That's how my brain works, and just go with it. So in the 20 plus years that I've been doing energy work professionally, I have never seen anything like this last few weeks of energy. If you're watching the Schumann, it's been incredibly intense. It's been all over the place. We had that one pattern that like I've never seen before, and right away my guides came in and said, this is a heart and root clearing and activation. And they were showing me that this energy was being sandwiched specifically to awaken the solar plexus. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. But I want to talk a little bit about ascension symptoms because I'm seeing some patterns with people in myself and reflected back, and people have reached out about this. So I want to mention a few specifically. Understand that like wherever you're having ascension symptoms in your body, that is where you are being asked to focus. So I might say this is about your heart and your root and your solar plexus, and you're having headaches. So then there's something going on in your crown, in your third eye, in your upper chakras, and in the energy around your head, in the mental space. So this doesn't apply to everyone. Just wherever you are and wherever you're being opened and asked to release and asked to activate, that's where the ascension symptoms are. But there's a couple that I keep seeing, and I just wanted to like mention this because hopefully it'll help somebody. So the first thing is hips. A lot of people are asking about hips right now. A lot of people are saying they're having stuff in their hips. That goes right along with this root clearing and activation. So our pelvis, our pelvic floor muscles especially, but the bones of our pelvis, all of this is an area that holds a tremendous amount of emotional energy. So emotional trauma, emotions that you kind of stuffed down, that you weren't ready to deal with at the time, old memories, all of that kind of stuff stored in the pelvic floor, in the pelvis. So if you're having hip stuff right now, you're probably being asked to look at some really deeply rooted old stuff that's coming up. And you may need help with that. You may need help one-on-one with an energy worker because that can be really intense, or a somatic experiencing therapist if you're working with some trauma stuff. So now let's get on to like the big part of this message, and the second part of the ascension symptoms is hands. People are reaching out to me. Everybody's having issues with their hands. I'm still having a little bit of issue with my hand. I had that big weird outbreak of some sort of eczema that I'd never had before, and it's better, but it's sort of, I can tell it's just like asking for the opportunity to come back in. So let me talk to you about why we're having these hand symptoms right now, because my guides gave me really clear guidance on this. And the message that came through was, it's time to take your power back. And that ties directly into this solar plexus activation. So the solar plexus chakra, kind of just below your rib cage in the upper part of the belly, that is where your personal power lives. And I've known for a long time, and I've said multiple times, that 2025 is about reclaiming your personal power. And like, we're in the thick of it now. We're in the middle of it. And I've had a couple experiences recently. I don't have a lot of time to go into storytelling here, but essentially there is an old guard that has been holding on to power for way too long. You can see this collectively. The easiest place to see it is in politics. If you look at the US political system, like, I don't know what the percentage is, 80+% of these people are like 70 or above, 80 or above. There's nothing wrong with being older. And that's that 5D word. It is time for a new system to come in and take over. And they are literally like, you can pry this from my cold dead hands. I mean, that is like where we're at. And again, that's just a reflection of what's happening like energetically. And it's time to stop giving your power away. It's time to stop giving your power away. It's time to stop giving your power away. Dog confirmation. So the hands are about how we give, how we receive, how we show up in the world, how we're active, the balance of being active versus passive. And the time for passivity is past. It is time to be active. It is time to actively reclaim your power. And you will see this in your personal relationships, in your like workplace life, like in your immediate surroundings. And then we see this reflected back collectively on a really massive scale right now. There are too few people who have been in power for too long. This is like a pattern of past life, millennia. This is not just right now. We're just seeing all of this come to a head right now because we are being asked to reclaim our personal power. And I guarantee you, if you look around in your personal surroundings, you will see a reflection of this. I just had this happen with me just like over the last few days, where I was in this kind of like relationship with somebody and realized that like I've been giving my power away, giving my power away, giving my power away. And I was doing it willingly. And now the dynamic is set up such that it's like there's this expected power differential that doesn't necessarily need to be there. And the only way it's going to shift, dog confirmation, is when I stand up and say no more. Not necessarily to the person. This is not necessarily a confrontation that needs to happen directly. This is an energetic shift that you must do within yourself, and then you will see that reflection. This relationship that I'm thinking of, it's like a business relationship. It's kind of a casual relationship, but like the only way to shift the differential of that is for me to step into my power fully. And what happens when you do that is that sometimes people don't like it because it challenges this old hierarchy. We have been in this ladder hierarchy for so long where like someone's at the top and someone's at the bottom and there's people in between. That is the 3D way of doing things. The 5D is a circle. The 5D is that everyone has something to bring to the table. It's that round table idea. Everyone is equally important. Everyone is equally valid. And yes, there may be someone like leading or facilitating that, but they are not on a pedestal. They are not above anyone else who is in the situation. And that is a shift that is only going to come about when we claim it, when we step into our own power and say no more. We need to stop looking outside of ourselves for validation. And I recognize, it's funny, I had this conversation with somebody about TikTok and they were like, oh, TikTok and social media, blah. And I was like, you've clearly never been there. And what you will find, yes, there's a lot of clutter on social media. And there are people who are giving you messages to empower yourself. That is what you are looking for. I am holding a space to help you step into your own power, just as I am intending to step into my own power. I am not saying I know better than you and I know how to do this. Half the time I'm on here like, I don't know what's going on. Let's figure this out together. That is the 5D. That is this new way of relating, and it's uncomfortable. The whole top of my head is tingling. It's uncomfortable for people in both positions here because we've been conditioned to be in this ladder, and it's time to knock the ladder down and be in true, circular, round, interactional, loving relationship. That is what the 5D is. So I'm going to give you some powerful energy to kind of help light this solar plexus fire, and put something in the comments if you want to receive this fully, because it's going to be pretty intense. So don't do this while you're driving. Close your eyes if you can. Put a hand or two on your heart. Ke ataka na e te ki e te ke ana o ataka e ne ki e te ke ana a e na ke ataka ua na ka a e te ki ana e ataka ua da kai ana ki e te ke ko ana ka ta e te ke ataka e na ki e te ke ataka e te ki e te ke ko e ana ka ta e te ki e te ke ataka e te ki e te ke ataka ko na kai te ki ana ke a te ki ana ke ataka ua ataka na e te ki ana kai te ki ana e te ki ana kai te ki e te ke ko ana kai te ki e te ke ana kai te ki e te ke ana kai te ki e te ke Kwe shanaya na sa shana kaya ta kwe ana kaya ta kiana se shana ka na katia ta kaya na ke. Huyama say aye. You are a powerful being. Claim that power, claim your sovereignty, know that you are powerful, that you are supported, and that you are loved. Have a beautiful day.